Welcome back to another episode of Big in the Business with your boy Curtis Jordan. And tonight we have another local gospel artist, of course, from Trinidad and Tobago. And she's here. She's gonna be sharing so much about herself, so much about her journey, and of course to inspire you to continue on your journey. This is episode 3 of Big in the Business, and tonight we have Candace Coker. Good evening, Candace. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing so well. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. Well, the audience is tuned in from all over the world, but I know most of our listeners are going to be from the Caribbean. And one of the things that we love to do on this podcast is to show what impossibility looks like. And we are all pictures of possibility of what can happen if we go after what we know is ours. So tonight, having you on the show as a gospel recording artist, a folk artist out of the Caribbean, is a picture of possibilities for persons that are talented in so many ways that don't really find themselves in the mold within their space. So thank you again for coming. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us, who is Candace Coker? Go for it.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in a very musical family on both sides, actually. So on my mom's side, my grandmother was a music teacher. So she taught me and my cousins how to play the piano from very young. I wish that I had not quit piano lessons before I did, because I think I would have been so much better now. And honestly, I just wish that I could play piano like Nora Jones, but I kind of grew up learning how to, music was just kind of how I did family on my mom's side. And then on my dad's side, my dad and most of his brothers could sing. I think my grandfather I met, he also sang. My dad played the guitar, and so he taught me how to play the guitar. We would sing as a family, sing a cappella together. And so for me, music was always something that was tied to family life. And so it kind of ran in my blood, I guess. And it was just kind of a way of expressing myself. So yeah, what started off as just kind of like a way of life for me kind of blossomed into a way of deeper expression when I got into high school, experimenting with songwriting and that sort of thing. And then after college, I just felt God kind of call me more intentionally to pursue it as a thing, which was very surprising for me, but it was the beginning of an adventure.
Nice, fantastic. Now, persons that are locked on, this is maybe the first time that they hear who you are. And the first time they're hearing of maybe even the style that you do. So I want to run quickly to one of your songs, and then we're going to come right back. So give people a bit of a taste of who Candace Coker is. Stick it right there. Keep it up, guys.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm all fully sold. I'm all callous to souls. I'm all prodigal son, come home. Oh, I'm all barren bones. I'm all torn up clothes.
I'm all torn up clothes.
I'm all father's robes.
I'm all father's rose.
I'm all undeserved mercy, come close. I'm all barren bones. Rise, oh sun, over the day. Shine rose gold on my skin, oh, till I let go. I'm all miles to go.
I'm all miles to go.
I'm good night control.
I'm good night control.
I'm all diving without my clothes on. I'm all barren bones. Oh, I'm all barren bones. Rise, oh sun, oh
Now, that is what we call international. That is what international songs like. And when I say international, I mean world class in terms of vocal delivery, world class in terms of writing. And you're from right here. It is so rare to me to see and to hear somebody operating on this kind of level. What is your experience, Candace, as an artist right here with that sound? How does this work? Because I just mentioned that you're operating at a high level. What is your experience? Tell us a little bit about your experience thus far in the Caribbean scene, or on the Caribbean scene, rather.
So by experience, you mean in terms of how I have gotten to this level of, in terms of like writing or singing and that sort of thing?
As well as how has the reception been? What are the challenges that you might face or you have faced in getting to this particular stage? And some of the things that you maybe challenges that you're being faced with right now, based on where your vision, where you see yourself going further. That was a whole mouthful, but you just take it easy.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So, well, I'll address both sides of it in terms of things related to building to a place where I could write and things like that. Honestly, a lot of it has to do with the Lord. I remember when I was younger, a lot of people would talk about music basically being the devil's playground, and I always used to be afraid of music because I felt like it was a place where the devil kind of had free reign. And I just remember a day God being like, before he took over music, like I was the creator. And so if you create with me, you will always have an edge on anything that the enemy creates. And I remember from that moment, that was kind of the moment when I started to actually invite God into my songwriting process. And that was the time when I actually, I would just pray before every songwrite that God would just kind of lead. And I would just be like, God, what song do you want to release next? And it created this freedom with me where it felt like it wasn't up to me to always have the most clever thing to say, because I was relying on a supernatural source to actually bring new songs out, and whatever God wanted to share next, whether it was going to be a song with a spiritual message or it was going to be a love song, that's the song that I would write. And so that's kind of shaped a lot of my process over the years. And of course, like I've taken classes and things like that in college to hone that craft a lot more, but I really feel like that foundation has a lot to do with where I am right now. And I would say vocally, it's very much similar. In terms of my experience in the Caribbean, so when I sensed God strongly call me to music, I was actually living in Vancouver at the time, because I had gone to study in Canada for a few years. So I studied for 4 years and I worked for 2 years. And I remember the moment I was working at my first job fresh out of college, and a friend of mine had just randomly sent me an online competition to submit a song where you get to win a free recording or something like that. So I was like, okay, throw my hat in the ring, and I actually won. And I remember the day that I was supposed to have that showcase where I would sing as the winner of the competition was the day that I got fired from my first college job. And they sat me down and they were like, we love you, but you're just not good at this job. And I was like, I get it. I remember coming to work that day. I had my change of clothes and my guitar with me. And I was just like, you know what, guys, I understand. It's okay. So I went home, I cried a little bit, and then I went to the showcase that night. And I remember that night, God kind of arresting me and being like, hey, we're going to start taking this thing seriously. And it turned out that all of the people who had actually run the competition, they were actually pastors of a church. And so they became sort of music mentors to me early on in my career there. I have to call him out, Tony Castro. He was a huge blessing to me in the earlies because he built me up a lot as an artist and taught me a lot about you know, branding as an artist, thinking about your story as an artist, and the messaging that you want to convey even on social media and things like that. And I was blessed to have lots of people through open mics and different things like that invite me to little small showcases, and that allowed me to have a bit of performing experience during that time. And so my time in Vancouver was very much experimental, you know, me writing songs and playing shows, and learning how to share faith messages to a very secular audience, and dealing with the struggle of all that. Um, and during that time, I actually, there was a person at my church who was a film composer. He composed songs for film, and he connected with me randomly and started to invite me to help songwrite for some of his projects and things like that. And I mean, all of these things are happening in my life, and I'm not registering that they're a big deal, because God is doing them in like very subtle ways. Because it's like, you know, okay, like a pastor is helping you record your first single, or a church member is asking you to join them on a project for film, but it isn't registering to me that these are important milestones, you know, until other people tell me like, whoa, you like just worked on a documentary, and I'm like, oh, that is actually what happened, you know. But it was really just kind of moving along the path of faith, I guess, and God kind of bringing strategic alignments. And it was actually through the collaboration with that person from church that he helped me register some of my songs in Canada. And so when I came home, I had a period of time where I thought I wasn't going to do music anymore. And then God just kind of flipped that switch, and I was graced with someone who helped me launch a crowdfunding campaign for my first album. But I honestly think that a lot of my foundation right now is because of that time in Canada. And I would say that because, I mean, my genre is very unique in the Caribbean context, right? When I think of, you know, radio stations in Trinidad, it was very difficult for me to figure out, you know, even for my current album, you know, where to pitch what, you know, because I am a Christian artist, but I also sometimes sing love songs. Sometimes I sing songs that are more like from the heart, straight from my journal type things. And so for very stereotypically Christian radio stations, those wouldn't be a good fit. But then also for you know, radio stations like 93.5 or 95.1, they may not necessarily be a good fit either. So I think that was a major challenge for me, is just figuring out, okay, what is my lane actually gonna be, and how am I, you know, who my audience is gonna be. I think I was blessed that 97.1 ran 2 of my songs from my current album. And yeah, that was actually like a huge dream of mine. But I think I've had to learn to be content with a lot of the audience being more Spotify audiences, some of which would be local, but some of which would be from the US, from Canada, and from environs. And a huge part of that foundation was because of how God set things up through my time in Canada.
Nice, fantastic. Well, I always say every day is a brand new day, and it's a brand new chapter, and we just don't know what God is up to. We just had to watch where he leads and just go with how he goes, you know what I mean? So that's fantastic. No, we are gonna beg you to maybe play something or sing something for us after the break. But I just want to shout out everybody that's tuned in on we are live. This is Monday evening, and you're on YouTube. What's up, YouTube family? Thanks for sticking it through. What's up, Facebook, Instagram? What's up, Spotify family? Apple Music family, Apple Podcasts, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. You're tuned in to B.I.G Indie Business with Curtis Jordan and my guest today, Candace Coker. Now, Candace, are you ready to do a little something for the audience right after the break?
Yes, I will make myself ready, definitely.
All right, guys, stay right now. We're going to take a quick break and come back, and you're going to hear Candace Coker live. Keep it up. Do you have a deep desire to improve your vocal skills? Well, I have something very special for you. I have a free vocal masterclass that is coming up, designed to really take your voice to the next level. Regardless if you're a new singer or a seasoned singer, this is the event for you, and it is all online. Now, when you sign up for this masterclass, you're going to get access to the full webinar. You're going to be a part of the live Q&A section, as well as free resources to help you along your vocal journey. All you need to do is just click the button in this description and register, or you can go to www.curtisjordancoaching.com/vocal masterclass. See you on the inside. And we are back, and we are live with Candace Coker, and she's going to give us a little something. Now tell us about the song that you're going to do for us tonight.
Sure. So I would consider this song one of the sweetest songs on my album. It's called They Go Down. Sorry?
What's the name of the album?
Okay, so my album is called Bear and Bones. Yes. And the bear represents vulnerability, and the bones represents our humanity. And so it's just about an album about learning how to be vulnerable with God and with each other. So this song is called They Go Down, and I wrote this song for someone that I really care about, but I also wrote it during a time when I was just reflecting with God on the fact that I do want a life where I could experience watching the day go down with the people that I care about and not get caught up in the busyness of life. So that's what this song is about.
Take it away, Candace.
Dear hours, why do you go so fast, in and out of view like that? Dear hours, why do you go so slow? Every time I think about what I should, I'm sick in my bed, pain in my throat, singing my heart out to the window. I'm sick of myself, singing my woe, wasted beauty. I want to see it go down. I just want to feel my lungs slow down. As the reddest light shoots right through the woods, fading out, and my rebel eyes choose to chase the hues in the drought. I just want to see it down. Dear shadow, why do you go so sweet, wrapping yourself up like a blanket? Dear dusk, please, to come whisper to me, tell me it's okay to cry just a little while I'm sick in my bed, pain in my throat, singing my heart out like a window. I'm missing my man, I'm fearing his woe, I'm wasted. I just want to see the day go down. I just want to feel my lungs slow now. As the redest light shoots right through the blues, fading out. And my rebel has choose to chase the hues in the
Thank you.
Wow. Now, Candace, how could the persons that just discovered you find your music? Where do we find your album? How do we give us some links, give us some backlinks. Let us know where you're at so we can find you.
Definitely. So you can find my website, CandaceCoker.com. I am also on Instagram at Candace Coker Music. You can also just search up Candace Coker on YouTube, Spotify. You can find me. But if you want to purchase the album, you can find me on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Okay, fantastic. Do you have physical copies of the album, or is it all digital for now?
It's all digital for now. I do have some branded flash drives with the album on it, because I noticed that a lot of people mention that CDs are going out of style somehow, and that a lot of cars don't come with CD drives. And so I started offering the flash drives so that they can just plug them into their vehicles.
Yeah. The music world is rapidly changing. It's so quickly. Sometimes we don't even catch ourselves. We realize, wait, we just got accustomed to this, and in 2/2s it just switches again. But the music remains the same. The passion remains the same. Creativity remains the same. Even the method of how we deliver it changes. Candace, thank you so much for being here on B.I.G Indie Business. I know you would have had to, of course, take some time out to be here, and we don't want to just take that for granted. You could have been doing anything else, but you chose to be here with us. Now, do you have any final words you want to use to encourage any young artists from the Caribbean? Maybe they're doing something different. They've been called to something different. They might be feeling a little bit, they're not sure about if this is the way that they want to go. Give a few words of encouragement, if you please.
Yeah, so I think one thing that I would say is remain curious and pursue your curiosity. Right now, social media gives you a lot of access to people that are all over the world. So I would say to allow your curiosity to give you the courage to maybe reach out to someone and just be like, hey, I am a huge fan. Would you be open to even a Zoom call, a 15-minute Zoom call, to see if we can maybe connect and make some music together? I know I did that before, and it has worked. And so, just encouraging you, just a little way to expand your horizons a bit sometimes too.
Thank you again, Candace. And this has been another episode of B.I.G Indie Business, the music podcast, and this is episode 3. And we had Candace Coker. So you could go check her stuff out online in all music platforms, even on YouTube. Check her stuff out, guys, and stick and stay, guys. Thanks so much again for being here on B.I.G Indie Business podcast. This is your boy Curtis Jordan. Until the next episode, see you guys.